Here we go. Time for Bewitched. Bewitched. Bum, 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 bum. My name's Gary. You are watching our ukulele class, first ukulele class of Halloween week. And we're going to be doing the Bewitched theme. And it's going to be pretty challenging to play. You can pick up the sheet music at our website, jollyrogerukulele.com. I am posting the link right now on jollyrogerukulele.com, and that's where you go to get the sheet music and get more information on all of the classes that we're doing these days. We have a nice community of people building. I hope they might be rascals, but as far as I can tell, most of them are pretty nice. And they tell me if the sound is good when they log in. Lynn is in. She says, "Hey." Lanny's in. Good afternoon. It always snows for Halloween. Yes, that's how you know that that's how you know summer's over. Is it's Halloween and there's snow on the ground. That's I remember as a little kid that was going trick or treating in the snow. So let's see. Geico, YouTube. Hi everyone. Okay, Thursday evening, Denver. Okay, okay. Eating too, really? Okay, beautiful. All right, so we got all sorts of stuff going on. Sound is good. Chris is here. Jack is here. I'm gonna go stand up and close this door. We're getting a bunch of cool air blowing in from the balcony, and my feet are cold. So I'll be right back. Tell everybody I'm not running away. All right. I'm going to have to find a better arrangement of my stuff here. Put the ukulele over here. That way it's less likely to end up crashed on. That there. Oh, there. That's a lovely spot for my ukulele. Nice, nice, nice. Who else wandered in? Chris is here. Jack is here. Jack and Barbara from Illinois. Manette is here. Manette, I don't know if you've come back home yet or not. Manette, you were in Chicago. Pauline is here. Vic is up in chilly Eugene. Annie's in. Linda, sunny here, but rain and clouds headed for. So this is the last moment that Linda will see the sun until April. So let her, bon voyage to summertime for Linda as well. Carol is here. 9 inches there up in Nathrop. Still snowing a little bit up on the hill. We're just having a cold day here, cold, miserable day. It's supposed to warm up tomorrow, so this will be our last day of weather here in Denver. Let's see. Some of you may have seen our a tremendous showing on football game on Sunday. I do like our local team, but I wish they were better, and they've been pretty terrible for a lot of years now. So watching them in the snow lose like that is always challenging. Diane is in today. Linda is in today. Christine, Red needs warmer socks. That's exactly what I need. I was just thinking I should have just kind of got my warm socks on. Vicky is here. Manette still in Chicago, snowing in Chicago as well. Cindy made it in. Mary Ann in from Middle Michigan. So we have actually 3 Mary Anns now. We have one in the orchestra, one down in Parker, and one in Michigan. So I got to try to keep them all straight. And it's one time when I was at Starbucks, we had a time when we had 5 Katies. Yeah, everybody was named Katie. Let's see. John is in. Hey, John. John's already broken out the Bailey's Irish Cream, so he's doing it right. He lives up in Illinois anyway, right? So, all right. As lots of you guys can tell, I have moved in off of the balcony. The balcony was freezing, and I was going to be tough and just hanging out there and use a space heater. And then I thought, well, I could just move everything into the spare bedroom, and it'd be fine. So welcome to my spare bedroom. We use this bedroom mostly for storage now that Megan has moved out. And it's kind of a mess. And not too bad. If we had to have somebody spend the night, we could. But it's not likely because we don't want them to kill us. And your relatives, the people that you trust, are the one who are going to kill you. Let's see. we're going to be playing Bewitched today. This is Halloween week, and I want to talk very briefly about what we got going on for the week, and then a little bit about what's coming up next week. But first, I got to pull up Bewitched, brand new ish arrangement of Bewitched today, and I think I'm pretty proud of it. We'll find out. I'm welcoming Linda, Evelyn, back for more. Patty's in. Critter's here from Utah. She's booing in from Utah. Jacqueline, happy to be here. Yeah, it's 20 degrees. See, Jacqueline was just down in South Padre Island, and she's saying she's happy to be here, but she'd probably rather be there. All right. So, several things. Number one, moved in off the balcony in here to the spare room, and I'm still working on getting the lighting about right. I think I've got it pretty close. I think this white shirt is freaking my camera out, and so I may switch to black shirts tomorrow to see if that makes it any better. I think we get this bright white bouncing back in the camera, and the camera's like, oh, that's too bright. I'm going to shut it down. And you'll notice when I put my ukulele up, I think changes the way the camera perceives the light. This is what happens when you buy the cheapest camera that you can find. So there's that. So we're working on getting the lighting around. The sound system is the same system, but the microphones are in different places. I still have one down here for the ukulele. My vocal microphone moved over here onto the desk, and so I'm hoping that you guys are hearing me fine and that nothing really significant has changed. I think it should work. I'm trying to keep it a little bit away from the vent for the heater that's right above there, and I didn't want that going directly into the microphone. So hopefully you're hearing me without the fact that the heater's running at the moment. Second thing, this is a whiteboard. I have it turned around backwards because there's writing on there. I don't know what it is, and I don't want it to say, like, here's my social security number. But we're going to use this for, I think, music theory lessons. So every day we'll have not every day, often we will put on some music theory thing for you to get you thinking about stuff. And one of the things that I tell everybody, I want you to end up being an independent musician. I want you to be a better musician than I am. I want you to be able to know how music works. The fact that we use this to make music is great. It's super fun, but I don't necessarily care if you're great on this. I want you to be great at music, and that means that, yeah, you might be great on this, but you might end up being great on bassoon, and I just want you to have whatever skill set necessary to understand how music works, and then you can go play any instrument. Once you understand how music works, it's all the same, and you can play any instrument, at least on at some level, right? And so we'll get so this will end up being either musical thoughts of the day or some sort of theory discussion, and little bite-sized ones. So we'll be putting that up here. Otherwise, it's just a blank wall, and it seems sad. So that's what's going on with the studio. Next is with your sheet music for the week. It is Halloween week, and we're going to be doing Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Addams Family, Time Warp, and Hogwarts Medley. Now, we've had Hogwarts Medley for a while, so I do hope that you're putting in your personal practice time, at least playing through it once or twice. Doesn't matter how you go about playing through it. You don't have to do tough uke on anything. Playing melody is important. So I'd love for you to be messing around with Harry Potter Medley this week. Also, your arpeggio for the week is the D minor one. It's on page 8. One of the prettier ones in the first 10 are what's important in that book, based on the suggested learning sequence. The first 10 are what's important, and I'd say of the first 10, D minor's pretty high up there. And just boy, that sounds pretty. Every time we do it in orchestra, full orchestra, I'm like, man, I should get a Grammy for that piece of music. It's really beautiful. So you should have fun playing it. And then as the week goes on, Bewitched theme, I Dream of Jeannie, Addams Family, and Time Warp. I gotta just let you know that every last one of these is going to be a challenge. Very typically with TV theme songs, they get very gadgety, and there's lots of weird stuff in them. And so all three of these, I think, are going to be a pretty decent challenge for us this week. And that's why you're here, right? You don't mind a challenge. Sometimes blowing in the wind works, and sometimes Addams Family is going to work. So we'll get all of those together. We'll have fun. We'll see what we can do with them. I've never arranged Adam's Family. Played it a different arrangement several times, but I have never arranged it myself. So we'll see what I come up with. In Time Warp, I haven't. I just have the sheet music. I haven't done anything with it ever. In fact, I think I might have done chords and singing at one point, but that's it. Let's see. Hi, Amy. All right. So now, kind of jazzy chords in Bewitched. Yeah. So you're dealing with mid-century modern music, borderline jazz, a little bit gadgety, kind of crazy, right? So I'm not going to talk about chords because the chances of you singing and strumming this are small, and but you could. Bewitched, bewitched, you've got me in your spell. Bewitched, bewitched. Okay, so we don't need to go through and say it. We do want to talk about some chords in here, however. Okay, this E minor 7, that's the basis of the song. That's what it's really based on. Okay, which is weird because we're playing off of a D major blank, and D major, if I remember right, doesn't show up at all in this. And again, very typical of jazz. We're playing off of a D major idea, but there's no D majors in here, right? And so then you're like, well, what's the complement of D major? Maybe we're playing in B minor because you got E major, E minor, D, E, F, G, A. Maybe we're playing in B minor. Oh, so how many B minors do we got in here? And you look through and you're like, well, there's one, right? And you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. So this is a great opportunity to talk about songs that don't necessarily play by the rules. Okay, so whether we're playing an E minor, which is what we start with, and which is what we end with. No, we end on a D. So you know how sometimes I say, you know what key you're in? Starts with a G, ends with a G. Those are intro level songs. When you get to this high level type stuff, especially jazz and especially 1950s jazz, early 60s jazz, it's not gonna play by the rules. And so we start at E minor 7 and we end up on D, and it does finally resolve to D, but we never really play a D until the very end, which is crazy, right? All right, so you've got your E minor 7. That's going to come up a lot. And you're going to go back to your A7 a lot. The other chord that's going to come up frustrating amount, and this is a new shape. I think we did a little bit of this when we did that first week of jazz many months ago. 2 and then 4s. So 2 2s and then 2 4s. This is an amazing sound. Okay. I love this shape. It's super useful when you're trying to make something sound jazzy. These minor 7th chords. They sound really awesome. Like if you do it in first position, and then you go to this 6th chord. So you get that jazz feeling to it. That's what's going on with this F sharp minor 7th is that shape. You're going to be playing it a lot and in tough youth both. Okay, and it sounds cool. It's just hard to put it on the first few times you do it. It's just all it is it's a diminished chord, but you're stretching out these two. And so just get where you know that that's happening. The other chord that's going to come up a lot is B7. Okay, bar on 2, middle finger on 3. Okay, you can hear the resolution in that, right? Okay, so that's what's going to happen a lot. You got a G chord at measure 9. Question is, can I bar the F7? Yeah, you can try. It won't work, but you can try. It might work for you, Manette. I don't know. She's asking, hey, can I do this? Dink, dink. Yeah. Yeah, you can. I won't. But it might be easier for you, right? Some of you will be able to bar it, some of you won't. Try it and see which makes you happiest, I guess. Let's see. Measure 9, we have a G chord. Measure 12, you have B minor finally. Okay, that's bar on 2, ring finger up here. Okay. Yeah, and Manette's idea is smart, right? She's thinking, okay, if I'm playing F sharp minor 7th, my fingers just are not going to cooperate. and then I can just turn it into to the B7. It is easier, right? However, I mean, you decide. Obviously, you're at that level, guys, right? So sometimes you practice back and forth, figure out which is going to be your smart way to do it, and then do it that way. Okay. Measure 13, regular B minor 7. Okay. Measure 14, hanging out right in the middle of the song. Who knows why? There's an E chord, bar on 4, pinky on 7, right? Okay. Carol's like, yep, I'm in. Carol's down with Minette. Okay. They're mountain people. They think different. Okay. That's the E chord. The part I love about this, I'm busy arranging and I come down and I'm like, oh, that's an E chord. And then and frankly, it's the easiest chord in the song. And I think how many times when I was first starting ukulele and I would run into the E chord and I'd be like, oh God, I don't want to have to play this E chord. That seems really miserable. And I'd go around the internet is filled with discussion about how to avoid playing an E chord on ukulele. And now I'm like, well, that's absolutely the coolest chord in the song, as an easiest song in here. So guys, you're working at a different level than the rest of the people. Okay. So you got an E chord there. Let me wander through the rest of the song. At measure 25, this little section here, my heart was under lock and key, but somehow it got unhitched. This is a really challenging section of this song. It's going to start with a G major 7th. That's your C minor on the 2nd fret. Okay. G major 7. My heart was under, and then you're going to go to a real legitimate diminished chord. Lock and key. The challenge is if you're singing it, you're going to play it here. But if you are playing the mellow and playing the tough uke, you're going to be up on 4. You're going to be way up here. Okay, same chord. Just instead of on 1, it's up on 4. Okay. And then at 27, we're going to have a real D chord. Somehow it got and then instead of your C7 here, you're actually going to play it on the 3. Okay, with the A shape, A7 shape on 3. Somehow it got unhitched. So that's what we're working at there. Kind of cool, right? You have another diminished chord that shows up in measure 30. Again, it's an F diminished this time. Okay. The crazy part about diminished on ukulele is there's really only one shape and it has all these different names. So don't lose your mind over the name of it. Just go with it. And it will turn from F dim, slides up to F sharp minor 7, and then goes to your other this C sharp 7. Sorry, it's not the other one. Bar on 1. I'm caught and and then the last one will make you mad is the F sharp 7. That's your E7 shape moved up to 2. Okay, so 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay. And kind of glad. B minor again, E minor 7, C7, D to wrap it up. So you got a lot of pretty intense chording here. If you're singing it, those chords are going to work just fine for you. But I don't necessarily recommend singing this one. Did you know that it had words? None of us knew that. Those of you like me who grew up with watching reruns of this show, we didn't know it had words. Let's see. Lanny says the bar works for him as well. Thank you. Lindy and I are working on keeping our music from using our pinky, and it's fast. Okay, so you guys use your bars. That's cool. I don't care. Next. So you don't have to thank me too much, but typically when we have a melody note that goes over a measure, particularly if it's an 8th note going over a measure, I just scoot it over and it sounds fine and nobody ever misses it. Nobody ever calls in and says, hey, you're coming in late on that 8th note, because you can do that when you're playing an instrumental solo piece. You should do that because it makes a lot more sense. But on this piece, it doesn't sound right. It sounds weird and it sounds much cooler to draw over the melody over the measures. So I went ahead and put in tons and tons of ties in this because they sound right and it's pretty cool. but it definitely is going to mean that when we're playing together, our rhythm's going to be like a little complicated to figure out. Whereas when you're playing it as a solo piece on your own without me, you'll probably be better off. So we're going to learn how to play it together. And then, of course, you're going to go play it at home much better. That's my plan. Okay. So don't want to run through the melody because we'll run through the melody at the same time as the chords. And we have plenty to do to keep our tough uke put together here. So let's go nice and slow through it. Let's hit the 0. And then you got your E minor, plain old E minor, 0 2 0 2. Okay, and isn't that beautiful? That's just like you hear that and you're like, this is going to be a good song. I'm going to be happy. Okay, now grab your 2. I would probably grab it with your middle finger because you're going to be needing to be putting your index finger on the A7 chord. Okay, and that's going to come in early. So if you're playing as somebody who's strumming it, you're going to do this, and then they're also going to hit the A7. So you're hitting it early before we're really supposed to. And again, with advanced music, it's so common that we don't even talk about it. But especially in jazz, it is so normal for these instrumentalists to come in early. And singers to come in early. And sometimes they will come in late on purpose, and so just know that your rhythm here you're gonna have to hear it and have faith in yourself, and we'll play it together. But you may not like my rhythm, right? So from the top, we're gonna just play down through into measure 2. 1 2 3. Bewitched, bewitched, and then let it ride. Okay, then you're gonna hit the 0 again. You've E minor 7 got me in your. Okay, and both motions I think are the same, right? Just put your middle finger up and then grab your A7. Okay, and then you're gonna go to this gets where you're gonna be sad, right? Because you got to hit this to be. And if you guys are doing bars, I'm just thinking if that's helpful. All right, I'm okay with that. Okay. I'm not going to do that. I want to hit my pinky, slide it up to 4, add in my rest of my chord, probably. You find your way of doing it. These 4s that happen after this are super annoying because you got to move your pinky up to get them. Okay, and then slide onto your B7, 2 3 2. Okay, and then that high 2. And then you go back to that F sharp minor 7th. I'm rolling around and I'm doing my 4-finger F sharp 7, but some of you guys are going to do a bar there. I don't know how you're going to do that. That's fine. Okay. You know your craft. Again, pinky over. So, and then B7. Well, B. Okay, and then that B feels wrong, but it is right. B. And then go grab 0 2 2, which is, this is a G chord, but the melody note's an F, and nobody knows, an F sharp, no less. 0 2 2, 4, and then lift it up. I knew what. Okay, and then you're already holding the right thing. So I do think grabbing this G chord at measure 9, just with 2 fingers in the middle, will be the least amount of work. Before I knew what you 3 2 were doing, and then you got your F sharp minor 7th again. I looked in your, and then you're going to go to your B minor 7th early. I 2 3 4 2, and you're already holding down the B minor, so that 2 is already there. 2, and then switch to the 2 2 2 2 4. Friend of woe that, and here's my favorite chord, E chord, plain old regular E chord. You've been ruining, and I'm grabbing my E minor 7. That chord is there just decorative. You could theoretically play a full rest there and go into the melody, but I think it sounds nicest to put that chord in there. Took me by, and again, it's kind of fast. Took me by surprise. Okay, so you got that going through there. Again, coming in early. And then it kind of repeats a little bit here. So measure 16. Bewitched, you calling anybody a witch, even if they are one, is a good idea. You know one thing for sure, that stuff you pitch, it hasn't got a cure. Good, and then let that ride. You're already holding the 2 down. Now, to get the G major 7th to work properly, you really do need to do a partial bar on 2, so just 3 strings and then your pinky up on 5. Otherwise, you got to leave this note open. My tendency is just to grab a full bar here, which is okay, but you're trying to get that a G sound here instead of the A sound, and so doing this partial bar 0 2 2 5 is going to give you the most complexity there. My heart was under. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then lock and key, I'm going to put on my diminished shape on 4 and my pinky up on 7. So diminished shape on 4, pinky up on 7. Okay. Lock and key, but it's kind of a cool descending melody line. But okay, and then you go back to a normal D at 27. Somehow it, and this I think is hard to play well, but I think after you do it a few times you'll get it. Put I don't even know what to call this shape, a G shape up on 3, wrong strings, right? So you're just trying to get to 3 4 3 0. Got unhitched. Okay, so I'm not positive that your best choice. You got to have this 0 open. That's the problem. So probably 3, that shape, 3 3 3 and 4, right? B7, bum, bum, bum. That little section there, I think, is by far the hardest part of the song, because not only are you dealing with my heart was under lock and key, but that part, you have plenty of challenging chords to get it right. The complexity and all of the sounds that you want to have that I think are there. But now at 27, not only do you have some kind of complicated chords, but you also have that triplet sitting there, and you want to make sure you know what you're doing when you get there. My heart was under lock and key, but somehow it got unhitched. So make sure you've got some urgency through somehow it. Somehow it got, you want to get faster. Dun, 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 dun. Easy to talk about, hard to do. Okay. And then we go into measure 29. Grab your E minor 7 again. I never thought my, and then this really feels like a G chord to me. Heart could be, and then this is a crazy diminished shape. It looks like an E7 with your pinky on 4. We did that in Aloha Oe back in the day, right? Could be had. You're like, what? Who writes that? And then we clean it up at 31. But now I'm caught and 2 3. Oh yeah, this is your F sharp 7 shape. I'm like, what is that? I'm kind of B minor, pinky on 5. Glad to be bewitched. Bewitched. Okay. So it's gonna run you to death on this piece of music, but I think it's all here. So Linda says she's in and she's down. They are great chords. Late but here. I'll check out what I missed on the recording. Yeah, Cat, this is a tough song we're working on. All right, so let's go back through. Let's play it a couple of times, and then you can go sit on your couch and cry for a little while, and then come back and work on it some more. Okay, so not fast. Obviously, in the movie, it's bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Okay, they were playing it fast, right? Two things. One, Greenfield and Keller, they were probably college educated musicians, and they were playing with a Hollywood band, and and they had a multi-piece orchestra, right? You have you. And so when you have you, your first thought is, I probably better play this a little slower than I remembered on the show. Okay, so be mindful of that. You do not have to play it at the speed. You don't have not only do you not have to play it at the speed of the TV show, you maybe shouldn't play it at that speed. You're presenting something different. You're presenting something people will remember it fondly, and they'll talk about Bewitched and Esmeralda, and they'll talk about that stuff. But I think trying to play it at the speed of the show, that doesn't serve anybody. All right, here we go from the top, crazy slow. 1, 2, 3. Nice. It's a 1 minute long song, right? It's just that when you start the song, you're like, oh God, measures 29 through 33 are waiting for me to make my life sad. When he says, whew, that's how I feel about phew. I played it probably 50 times this morning, and I changed lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff as I worked through it. I think you have what amounts to, if you put the time in and play it slow, you have a playable piece. And then if you love it, right, obviously practice it enough to where you can really get it up to speed. A little bit repetitive, but as always with jazz, you don't trust those repeats, because they are going to beat you up along the way. Not as bad as I thought. Good thing it's slow, right? And again, we're playing it slow on purpose, right? But if you could get it up to dee-run, da-run, da-run, dun, 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 da-run, run. That's what you're going for. Maybe, I don't know. Not necessarily. You probably should also be thinking about, I'm gonna. This is just for me, or maybe my family might hear this, and they would get a hoot out of hearing me play these super complex chords, and they'd be fine with me playing at a third of the speed it's supposed to go, right? Let's see who else. Not as bad as I thought. Yeah, right. Great arrangement. Sounds great. When you can keep you can keep up. Really great. We're going to need some work. It's a bewitching tune. Let's play it one more time, and then you guys will be out of here. Don't forget to download or to be working on your D minor, your Harry Potter medley, and your Make a Better Bar worksheet. And by the way. I really like my little graphic I made this time with the ukulele Halloween with the ghost letters behind it. I thought that was very, very fancy. All right. A lot of times I'm like, oh God, I got to put up a graphic, and I don't, and I put them up in a big hurry. But this one was still in a big hurry, but it was I was like, okay, I always try to make the letters have a shadow behind them because they stand out from the image a little bit. And I was like, oh, but I could set these way off and I can make them gray like ghosts. So. All right, one more time, and then we'll get out of here. You don't care about my graphic. I care about my graphic. All right. F sharp minor 7 bar is really nice here. All right, so Pauline is down. Okay. Okay, so we got a lot of people barring it. Probably middle and ring, right, guys? Okay, so that will probably work. So make yourself a note to try both ways until you can find one. And then as you are speeding up, just be mindful that sometimes you make one decision and then you may have to make a different decision when it starts getting faster and faster. But try your bar. It's not going to work for me. Yeah, but it's super economic in motions. Okay. All right. Good job. Who brought that up initially? Was that Manette? Good job. Judy says neat song. Yeah, again, these TV things are super fun, except they are pretty hard, almost all of them. All right, here we go. Gilligan's Island is easy. Here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3. Yes. All right. That's Bewitched. I Dream of Jeannie is equally, I think, so far seems like maybe not, I don't know, maybe not quite the level of intensity of this one, but dun 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 will be the net one for tomorrow. I will mention briefly, you know how sometimes we talk about songs, we're like, oh, we like that song, and then you go study the song a little bit and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this comes from a wildly racist or horribly sexist tradition. I probably can't like that song anymore. Or you can think, well, I'm still gonna like the song. I'm just gonna play it in my basement for myself. I Dream of Jeannie. When you look at the words, it's like, oh my God, those are so horrible. I do have managed to pluck out enough of it where it's absolutely not really awful. But I Dream of Jeannie's words suck, and so I will give you the least sucky one on there, and we'll have another fun little song. And then remember on Wednesday, we'll do Adam's Family. That's where you get the click. Da 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 dun, da 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 dun, da 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 dun, da 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 dun, da 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 dun. Okay, so we'll be doing that one. And then Time Warp is out of a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I haven't been begun on that one, so I don't know what we'll find there. And that's what I know. I'll start putting music theory on here, so it'll make you smarter. And that's all I know. So I hope you guys are having a good day. It's beautiful. We had some snow over the weekend, and supposed to start warming up the rest of the week. In Colorado, we're like, oh God, we have weather. What are we going to do? And I know lots of you guys have weather all year round. So Cindy thinks it's a wonderful arrangement. So if Cindy thinks it's a wonderful arrangement, you should double check. Let's see. Judy says it's neat. I mean, it is fun, right? Thanks so much. Gives me stuff for it. Yeah, right. Gonna have a Halloween. Most of you guys are not going to be having very many trick or treaters this year because they're like, nah. So give yourself the trick or the treat of playing ukulele on this coming Saturday for somebody. Be a nice goal, right? Let's see. Where did I leave off? Need to learn how to snap your finger. Oh yeah. We'll have to have this lesson. You might start working on it today, right? It's coming up on Wednesday. Da-da-da-dum. Okay, got to know that. That's a new ukulele skill. You didn't need to know you were going to have to do that. Minette's up for music theory. Looking forward to orchestra. Oh yeah, orchestras tonight. We have all love songs. So if you don't forget, I got to try to get an email or people forget. We are this is our final list of love songs, and Christmas song starts next. So guys, I know it's a mixed blessing for me. I love Christmas music. I don't know, it's a lot. So yeah, it's coming up. Patty, good to see you. Sue from Michigan, thanks, very fun. Glad you're here, Sue. Nice to see you. Fran, it's really. Yeah, I've had to start putting pants and socks on, and I don't, ever since the pandemic, it's been nice and hot here, so I am not sure I'm appreciating that very much. Pauline, you're welcome, Pauline. Good to see you. Annie, it's a tough arrangement, but you guys can do it. You guys can do it. Okay? Fun and challenging. That's what we like. That's what we want, right? We want every day to be the Sunday New York Times crossword puzzle. All right, Lanny, good to see you. Should be fun, right? Elizabeth. Thanks, Elizabeth. Member portal doesn't seem to go to the list of songs after sign in. Let me check, Linda. I'm gonna see if mine does. Member portal. So you click on member portal, and then the very first link right below your name is this thing that says members only sheet music. You click there, and yep, it's coming up on mine. So double check, but mine's working. So click on the member portal and then scroll down under, there's a block with your name and stuff on it. Right under that, it says members only sheet music right under there. And that's the link you want to get to. So I may clear off the rest of that sheet. I think it's confusing as to what people are supposed to click. I think I need a giant button. Click here. Jacqueline, sweet. Played the chords for a change. Happy to tune in. Yeah, I know. It's almost exactly like Padre Island out here, except it's not an island. It's not hot. It's not fun. There's no water. So other than that, it's basically Padre Island here. Yeah. Just click here. The D minor arpeggio sound. Oh, I know why. The advanced arpeggios, you actually have to go to Mammoth Gardens to listen to those. I don't have those all. You're right. That's a good point. Those sounds, Laurel, if you'll go over to Mammoth Gardens, my other website, and then go up into music and arpeggiator. They're on there. They're over there. I didn't put them all on the Jolly Roger site because I didn't want to clog up that stream. I don't know why, but I didn't put them over there. So they're on the Mammoth Garden site, Laurel. You can poke around over there and you'll find them. Jen. Off to mellifluous baritone. Yes. We're doing Estudio by Torrega on baritones this week. It's ridiculous how beautiful it is. You bet, Amy. Good to see you. All right, guys. See all of you tomorrow. I'll try to think of something funny to put up here for our board. And thank you all for being here. It's really a joy to teach with you guys and having you hang out with me. So have a wonderful day. I will see all of you mañana or at some point later today.